Martial Arts Chat podcast is sponsored by A1 Fight Gear. A1 Fight Gear uses the latest cutting-edge boxing gloves for professional and amateur fighters, gym enthusiasts and kickboxers. Local and national gyms in the UK, do yourself a favour and check out a1fightgear.com. And if you're wanting to get into shape, get back into shape, then go to beastgear.co.uk. Use the coupon code MartialArtsChat to save 15% off your purchases. They've got core sliders, straps and barbell pads and complete strength and conditioning programs to suit your needs. We are also sponsored by Feel Supreme. FeelSupreme.co.uk offers CBD oil and natural nutrition. They will assist your progress in diet and lifestyle. Natural supplements and complementary services such as yoga, mind coaching and weight cutting programs. Finally, we are also sponsored by World of Martial Arts Television. WOMA.tv produces, finds, acquires, commissions and presents all you ever wanted to know about martial arts. Hello, my name's Chris Allen, and this is the Martial Art Chat podcast. Today, I'm honoured to be joined by Pedro Carvalho. He is one of Bellator's top prospects at the moment. He's recently been entered into the featherweight Grand Prix, and well, we might be looking at the first ever Portuguese Bellator champion. How you doing, Pedro? Okay.
We are looking at the first Bellator world champion. We are. It's a reality. It's a reality. Thank you for having me, sir. It's a pleasure to be here.
No worries. I was going to say I'm sure he's going to correct me, but I'm sure. But no, you did express that as well in the post-fight interview at Bellator Birmingham. I think it was Gareth Davies, the journalist. He said to you that he was speaking to the matchmakers and heard that they were very keen on you joining, obviously, the featherweight Grand Prix. So you heard about it then. So when was it official? When were you officially entered into it?
So the new about me getting into the tournament, I got like on the day. It was told me on that same day that I was in, But then I just have to keep waiting, for contracts, Bellator officialized. So I just had to keep my mouth shut about it. But straight away, like after the fight, I got the boss come to me and tell me that yeah, I was in.
Fantastic. And obviously you're fully deserving of it, but were you surprised that you were approached immediately for this? Or were you expecting maybe you weren't going to make it on this one?
No, like I was not only I was confident that I was going to win. Like I think like I 100% deserved it because like from speaking about only my fights in Bellator, like I'm only like at the time I was only a 23-year boy that had like three hard fights. I got into Bellator against Daniel Crawford. That
Yeah.
was at the time 10-1. It was like probably probably the biggest prospect in Europe, beating everyone by knockout, bomber champion, and I went to his hometown and beat him. Then I took a 10 days notice fight in Italy and I beat the guy with a flying guillotine in 43 seconds. And then I fought a veteran, a Bellator veteran. He fought with all the best guys out there and super durable, and I beat him in 2 minutes. So I think pretty much I'm the most deserved person to be in that tournament, because you have all these so-called prospects, but to be fair, against who they fought,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, man.
So with this being said, like I don't care about the other guys. I just care about me and what concerns about me. In my opinion, I'm 100% deserved this opportunity. And yeah, like I've said, once my name is announced, you can be sure that I'm world champion already.
No, and as you said, with the performances you're putting on, I said it's going to be surprising if you don't get very far in this tournament, as you said, and win it. You're obviously looking at yourself as one of the favourites to win it as well, which is always nice to hear. So when you first came into Bellator, so you're saying you fought Daniel Crawford, a tough fight. Obviously, it's a tough fight. It's a step up in competition to Bellator. You're on Bellator 200, so their biggest show, and in London. How was it walking down that ramp into Bellator 200 against someone as good as Crawford, which you knew?
Actually, like when I was about to go, when I was like called like on the locker room
Yeah.
there, it was my what time to fight, and I was on the backstage getting ready to go to the ramp. The only thought that was about crossing my mind is this is just right,
Yeah,
you
man.
know?
Yeah.
This is my place. This is my place. This is what I deserve to be. This is why I work my entire life for. This is it. This is my place. So now, like, of course, this is the Crawford fight where I'm gonna show everyone that I am the best in the world. This is my opportunity to show the world who I am, you know. So
Yeah.
I wasn't complaining. Like, of course, I knew that fight was a fight to be given to Crawford. I knew it, but it was an opportunity that I had. I don't care.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
if I believe, if I or any person that says that he's the best in the world, and that person truly believes in what that person says, so that person can't have any problem to fight anyone because the best in the world is the best in the world. So the best in the world shouldn't have a problem to fight anyone. So the only feeling that I was, even if it was the opposite, was that was my entry Bellator party. That was it. That was my party, you know.
Yeah, definitely 100% your party for sure. And it was a great fight to see you come into Bellator. Like, obviously everyone wants to come in and just first round knockout things like that. But I felt that fight you got to show off, what you can do. You can come back off from adversity, like say being on your back or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And did you find that was quite important for you to be able to show that straight away, which has led you to great opportunity now?
Yeah, like it was good, was good fight because like I wasn't able to showcase what I got because of course it was my first time in a major stage,
Hmm.
so of course we can't lie about it matters, the importance of the place that you're fighting. So, and I felt that there wasn't like the best of my actually, like, was a great performance. It
Yeah, it
was
was. Yeah, it was, man.
was a great fight, but like in one concerns of what I can do, like you could see like after on my other two fights, my next two fights, I got like two first round finishes,
That's it.
because then I was like used to it. So, but yeah, I think it was important because was a 3 round fight. I showed that if you had to, I could do other two more rounds. I was fresh to go, and yeah, I think it was important to showcase that I'm a well-rounded guy. I can fight stand up against one of the most dangerous guys in Europe. There was the case of Crawford
Yeah.
that I outstrike him, and I can wrestle grappling because most of my wins are by submission, and I'm durable and I have cardio. So basically, I think that fight was important to show that I'm really a well-rounded fighter. I can fight anywhere in any kind of situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was not only a good opportunity, it was a good chance to show what I'm able to.
Yeah, and I believe like I was actually something I was going to say. I said you're one of the like most well-rounded fighters at the moment in Bellator featherweight division. I'd say 100%. And because people saw like in your first fight, it was a lot of ground game, and you were very good with your reversals and things like that. And on the feet, you just seem so comfortable on the feet. It's that SBG style. And I know you're and so great in both areas. So you winning by guillotine, winning by ground and pound, winning by decision, you've done it all already. So at 23 years
Yeah.
old, what at 23 years old or however old you are now, what's left to show? You've got a lot left to do, right?
Like my goal, more than finish by knockout, finish by submission, finish by this or that, is go out there and not only win but dominating.
Yeah,
That's what I want to show. I want to show like that I mean when I say that I'm the best. I work to be the best. I work to prove that I'm the best. And for me, what matter about being the best, it's like showing. Go out there and show that these guys that everyone talk about, they are not even close. Is go out there and perform like I've been doing, basically continuing doing what I've been doing, completely dominating my opponents, and that's what I always looking for, to put amount of pressure that my opponents never felt it,
That's
hit them in ways that never been hit, and dominating, make them not be the same person anymore after fight me.
no,
That's it.
I was going to say, and you see the complete. You've probably got one of the nastiest body kicks you've seen. I've seen in a long time,
Yeah, I
and you
love
can.
that one.
Yeah, it's the old liver kick, the Bas Rutten, made it famous many years
Yeah.
ago, and you're throwing it so well, and you could see with Campos, as soon as you hit him with that liver kick, the punches you threw afterwards were just, standard really, because that liver kick just shut him down completely.
Yeah, like for be honest, like because I had some experience, because back in Portugal I did a lot of K1 fights, and it used to be one of my weapons, and then I don't know why I kind of stopped doing it, and then I was like, oh man, this one of my main weapons, and is one of the things that I love the most to throw. It's body kicks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just like I just put back on my arsenal, and yeah, it was worth it.
Yeah, I just love it in the replays when they slow it right down, into proper
Oh,
slow mo.
I love to see the fight over and over again, and hear the crack of the bones. It's just like that's nasty.
It's when it's slow motion, you see the whole body ripple all the way to the top of the head. People who watch the sport who don't maybe not understand it. A body shot, especially from a leg body shot from the legs as well, is just as it's so painful.
It
Some
is.
people right
It is.
myself, I'd rather get hit in the head than the body myself.
Oh, I always say that. I always say that, like being like hitting on the liver, especially on the liver, your whole body just shuts down. You just can't avoid it. It's like it is almost a knockout, but the thing is you are still awake, but you can't do nothing because your body just don't answer, and it's hugely painful. It's so painful. People don't imagine how painful a body shot it is. So that's what I love to do, inflict pain. That's what I'm going to continue doing.
And that's it. I'm going to continue to enjoy watching you do it as well from cage side as well, 100%.
Oh, you will, my sir, you will.
People don't understand when you're that close and you can hear the impact, even with the roar over all your fans that you obviously bring with you, and all your teammates from SBG. So obviously you bring quite a good following with you every time, yeah?
Ah, yeah, absolutely. Like I said this huge time before. Like I'm in the best team in the world. I have the best around me, teammates, coaches. So every time I go fighting, I have the best guys having my back. So the only thing that I have to do on fight time is go forward, because my back are well covered.
No, that's it. And they said when I was at Birmingham, your coach, obviously I was sitting not too far away from your coach, and you could see all the passion and excitement you had when you won that fight, especially the way you did as well. And no, it was fantastic because you had a few guys fighting that night, so it was a good night for SBG that evening, wasn't it?
It was the only thing that I was shameful about, like sad about it. Then I was the result of Costi, because he clearly won that fight and he got a draw. But yeah, but overall was a good night for the team. And yeah, and like I said, we are a big family, and it's not about only like my victory, it's our victory, it's the team victory, because every time one of us like go to war, like we all go to war, like Connor said before, like it is that, like we're like a big family. We take care of each other, we help each other, and we go fighting all together. When one is there inside of that cage, everyone is on that fight on that moment also.
That's it, mate. And you don't. But we don't even need to sit here and list the sort of people you train with at SBG. It's so popular now. Everyone knows who comes out of there. The best in the world have come out of there, and they still are coming out of there. And yourself, and even younger generation below you. We've got, was it Gallagher's coming through at the moment as well. He's
Yes.
young, so he's doing very well. So what's it like training with him? Like people like him in the. He's hungry as anything, just like you.
yeah, like I said this before to Big John McCarthy that few maybe 2014 SVG as a huge solid team. You had Conor McGregor,
Of course.
Paddy, we had Hartem, Gunny Nelson, all these guys. There was like on the top, at that time was making like, and then they had their that UFC Dublin card. So at that time, SVG had like all these names at the same time fighting and doing great, But and there was like what people remember as the golden age of SVG. But I think the true golden age of SVG is still to come because you see, we have so many young fighters outcoming and so much talent still to show. And I truly think that the 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 true like in a time of 2 years, 3 years, we're gonna have several world champions, in different weight divisions
Yeah, and different organisations as well. Artem's doing quite
and
well in
different
the.
organizations. Oh, that's what we already have.
Yeah, exactly. Artem's over at the BKFC now. He's dominating over there, beating people and stuff. And got you in Bellator. We've got lots of your guys in Cage Warriors as well. It's nice to see. You can have champions everywhere, and it's great to see. I'd say you're easily one of the fastest growing gyms in Europe at the moment. Definitely the most spoken about, and it's proving well since you've been there. You haven't lost a fight, am I right in saying?
Yes, 5-0 SVG Gorilla Records.
That's it, mate. So the numbers speak for itself, doesn't it?
Going to 6-0 September 7th.
That's it, man. That's it. Is it obviously you've Bellator's going to Dublin this year? Is it were you trying pushing for your fight to be on the Dublin card as well?
Like I knew that I wouldn't fight in Dublin because yeah, I knew that I was
Grand Prix.
in the Grand Prix, so was like okay, right now the tournament is a priority. But
Of
one
course.
of my small goals, and little dreams is fighting in the Tree Arena in Dublin, in front of the Irish crowd. That is like the best in the world. It's absolutely the best in the world. Like if
Oh,
you
by
are
far.
hearing if you are hearing this and you never been in a show in Dublin, do yourself a favor and you don't need to go because of one specific fighter. Just go there and see because most of the times sometimes the spectacle is not the fight, it's the crowd.
Yeah,
That's
man.
it's absolutely unbelievable. And yeah, that's one of the reasons that it will be like a little dream come true, fight in front of their champion crowd,
Yeah,
and
man.
but I doubt that will happen soon because all the fights I think of the Grand Prix are going to be all held in America. So after I win the tournament and I'll have to defend my belt, maybe I'll do a title defense in Dublin.
That's
Who
it,
knows?
man. That's it, 100%. And how's that feel? This is your first time fighting in obviously in the States, is that right?
Yeah, it is.
So
It is my first.
how's that feel? Now but to be fair, you're not shy to a big stage. You're used to these big stages, big opponents, but you're going to the other side of the world now. So how does that feel? Was it almost like a step up, in your career?
It is more. Basically, the only difference is that I know that I'm gonna have more eyes on me, and that's it. It's like I want to be like Tupac sings in a song, "All eyes on me."
Yeah.
I want I want everyone to see. I want to everyone knows what I'm talking to. So this is a huge opportunity to me to have more eyes to build basically to build my name, So about like fighting in US is the same, fighting in US, Dublin, or like the stage is itself, it's the same. A fight is a fight, doesn't matter what it is. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy because it was like kind of a little dream like since kid, fighting in America. Everyone wants to fight in America, if you want to be a fighter. It's normal. So yeah, I'm excited, especially to be in California.
Yeah,
So
man.
it's got I'm seeing it like it's gonna be 2 weeks of vacations doing what I love. That's it. Enjoying, and enjoy. That's it. That's all always my focus. My focus is winning, but every time I go fighting, doesn't matter the place. I always look to enjoy the whole process because in the end of the day, that's what really matters. If you are not enjoying what you do, and like you are doing it wrong, because all the only thing that you're gonna have at in the end of the day, it's memories. So make sure that they are the best that they can. So enjoy every moment, and that's what I'm looking at. Go the first time to America, enjoy every single moment. Go out there, dominating, take my win, and see who's my next victim.
That's it, and it's going to be a great experience as well. So you get to travel the world while doing what you love. And I know what Bellator are like. They're not going to put you in no rubbish hotel. It's going to be a lovely hotel, lovely location. You can get up in the
Yes.
morning, train on the beach, which I'm sure you were used to doing when you lived in Portugal, sort of things. And
Yeah.
it might see more familiar surroundings opposed to getting up in the morning, going for a run in the pouring down rain in our lovely country.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. Portugal I told already everyone, Portugal is a little paradise. People should go out there one day. Go north, but go north because people always go south. People have to go north.
That's it. Not Malaga and all that sort of way. You want to go to the other side of the country. It's a bit cooler as well. But yeah, man. But tell us a bit of your backstory then on all this sort of thing. So where did it all start for you? What brought you into combat sports originally?
So, to be honest, like I never was like basically when I was kid. This was at the time I was like 12, 13 years old, and at this time the only combat things that I was really fan was, to be fair, WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Well, that's all we had in Europe, wasn't it? And we were the same in the UK. We didn't, and I'm 32, and even back when I was younger, we had to stream all the MMA and stuff online.
and then I was seeing TV with my mom, and I see this commercial about a new show that was about to start in this channel, and it got my attention because it was like two man inside of a cage with really really small gloves, basically fighting, standing up, ground punches, like arm bars, everything. And I was like, it got my attention. So I just wait for the day of the debut, and man, like the first fight that I saw, I can tell you, like was first sight love. I just fall in love. I just immediately fall in love for the sport.
What fight was it?
What I remember was Georges St. Pierre against Frank Trigg.
Oh, old school, yeah, classic fight. Yeah, man.
Rear naked choke, dominating performance, and I was like, man, this is absolutely. And also because the fight, the show was a show, wasn't like events, was classic fights.
Yeah.
Was like 1 hour of classic fights. And in that same day, they put their one, and they put the most classic one of all time. They put Forrest Griffin against Stephen Bonner.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's
Uh,
just the go-to one.
so you tell me, how will be possible to not fall in love for the sport? And yeah, I fall in love, but I didn't have like the knowledge that we had MMA teams in Portugal, even like in my city. So yeah, whatever. And then one day I had a friend that normally is always like fighting in not fighting in soccer
Yeah.
clubs, playing football and thing. So yeah, I called them to tell them, hey, what you gonna do? And he told me I'm gonna train. So I asked him, which club are you playing? And he told me, I'm not playing any club. I'm training MMA. And man, when he told me that, my whole world stopped. Like every like movie things, the noise, everything just The world just stopped, and I asked him, "You are training MMA?" And he asked me, "Yes, I am." And I asked him where, and he told me that it was like in our city. So there, I still remember that was a Wednesday. On the next Saturday, I was like with my mom because I was only 13, so I need her permission to train. So I was, yeah, on the next Saturday, I was doing my subscription on the gym to start training. And yeah, after that, I never looked back, you know. I remember I was like 14, 15, and I was already like, I know this is not a great example to say, but I was already like missing classes and exams because I had to do my training session. I had to, and I always, I never lied to my teacher. Every time they ask me why I missed the class, and I say, teacher, I'm sorry, but I have my training session. That's it. Because from that very moment that I was doing that subscription, I knew what I wanted. I wanted to be the best in the world. That's what I want in my life. I want to be a professional fighter, and I want to be the best at it. And I knew to do it. I have to sacrifice everything, and I sacrificed all my life to this moment. So that's why I'm so sure of myself because I not only I know the sacrifice that I made, I know my work, and I know nobody wants this more than me, and no one works more than me. So yeah, in less than 1 year time, the first ever Portuguese man Bellator world champion.
That's it, mate. That's it, and I think if people are going to put their money on something, that's definitely a good shout. Because as I said, the way you've come through them, you've come into SBG undefeated, you're dominating all your fights. Yeah, don't get me wrong, the Crawford one was a split decision, but it was a great fight. I personally gave it to you like unanimous decision. But
Yeah.
it's up to whatever the judges want to think on that one. It's up to them. So when you had your last regional fight in Portugal, there was in 2015. There was a bit of a 2 year gap before your following fight, which I'm assuming was your transition from Portugal to the UK. Was it straight to Ireland you went, or did you go to UK first?
No, so I had my fight, my last fight in 15,
Yeah.
and then for a year time I stopped training because me and my girlfriend decided to go to Ireland. So at
Okay.
that time, in a year time, I just basically stopped training and everything, so I can like work full time in a factory, so I can join money, so I will be able to go to Ireland, you know.
Yeah, man.
So I did one step back to do like four steps forward. So yeah, for a year I was like working in a factory, you know, breathing smokes from the machines, working with acids for the tissues and this and that. Was tough, was tough, you know, and I'm honest, like I don't need to lie about. For several times, I cry myself, and I had the support of my mom saying like, man, like you are working on this factory because you are chasing your dreams, so it will be all temporary, and that's what was the idea that held me to that place, so I can join money, and yeah, I did the whole thing. I joined money, and then I went to and I came to Ireland, and then when I came to Ireland, I worked one more year in Tallaght Hospital cleaning toilets, you know. But like comparing to the factory work, it wasn't that bad. Like
No.
of
Yeah.
course it is bad to clean toilets, but comparing to the work in the factory was pretty handy, was pretty okay. And yeah, until I got my shot at Bellator, you know. But until I got my shot at Bellator, from their last lost fight in 15 until May 2008 and 18, that was my first fight on Bellator. In between that two periods of time was the toughest years of my life, you know. But I knew day after day, like even like I had no sight that the things gonna work out for me.
Yeah.
I believe that they're gonna work. So every time doubts come to my head, I just work harder, work harder, work harder, because I knew sooner or later something will show up. And every single time, every single little opportunity there was coming to me, I just grabbed it, everything that I had, and yeah, now we are here talking, and I'm about to go to the biggest tournament ever and becoming world champion. So yeah, all like looking back was all worth it, and I'm pretty proud of myself, of everything that I sacrificed and everything I've been through, and I overcame everything. And of course, I'm only on the beginning, so I still have to overcome way more things that are still to come. But so far, I'm pretty proud of my journey.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. I'm sitting here just listening to you talk away there, mate. Sorry if I was a bit quiet. It's just interesting, really hearing like what you did. You came here, you came over to Ireland for that whole 3 year period, because I didn't even look at it like that. It was a 3 year period till you joined Bellator. So when did you find SBG? When did you? Because obviously your first fight, your first pro fight in Ireland or wherever it was with SBG, yeah. So
Yeah.
how did you find SBG?
So SVG was at the time, like, me and my girlfriend decided we need to. It's still in Portugal. When we were still in Portugal, we decided that if I want to do something with my career, I need to make some move. I need to do something, and we were talking, and we weren't like getting a conclusion of where we should go. So she just keep it simple. She just, listen, Pedro. In your opinion, as a MMA fighter,
Yeah.
which is the best place right now to you to train? And I said, in my opinion, SVG. And she was like, why? And I said, because John Kavanagh. John was always my influence in picking SVG to my place to train, because I always identify a lot with his way of approaching MMA and everything. He's simply the best. That's it. The best coach. That's it. And and she was like, so yeah, so why don't you we pick Dublin? And I was like, hell yeah, fucking hell, she's right.
Oh man, what a lovely supportive missus you have as well, mate. Like fantastic. She's
Yeah,
happy to move country just to keep you happy, man. It's fantastic.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm a blessed man, and yeah, and then we did the moves, and a few 10 months later, after our move, we moved in January. And yeah, actually, now when I'm telling the story now, we moved in January, and in October 29 was on Halloween. I had
Hmm.
my first fight for SVG. It was in Cage Legacy.
Yeah.
So I fought. I won in the first round by armbar. We came home, and then when we arrived home, my girlfriend came and she was like, "Pierre, I need to speak with you." And I was like, was weird, because out of nowhere she told me that I need to speak with me. So I'm like, what's up? And she told me that she was pregnant.
Oh man,
Uh,
congratulations.
yeah, no, yeah, yeah. My boy now is like one, like she is already like 1 year boy.
Yeah,
But
man.
at the time, like, it was like was scary, so scary, because I just had my first fight in a regional organization in Cage Legacy. So I have no plans, like proper plans for my future in MMA, and certainly my girlfriend was pregnant, so I kind of panicked a little bit. But then we came out with a plan. She was like, she came back to Portugal so she can have a safety pregnancy and everything safely, and I continue here, like, working, training, and fighting. And then like a few months later, in March 18, I had my second Cage Legacy fight for the Cage Legacy belt against the undefeated wrestler from Russia, and I won. And after that, it was offered me the
Yeah,
Crawford
man.
fight. the
Two
Crawford fight.
months. 2 months later.
Like it was straight away. It was like 3 weeks later that the Crawford fight was offered to me. And when John offered me the Crawford fight, when he told me about the offer, I knew I knew that was my moment. I knew that was the moment that my life gonna change, my career, my personal life, everything gonna change. I knew that was my opportunity to go to the big stage, to start to build my name and my career. I knew that was the my opportunity. So I did my whole camp. I was still working in the hospital,
Yeah.
and and then 2 weeks before the fight, I came to my supervisor and I quit from my job. And then when I came back to the gym and I told the guys, they asked me why did you quit your job? And I told everyone because I don't want doubts in my mind. I don't want the idea in my mind that, hey Pedro, listen, if you lose this fight, you still have your job. I don't want this kind of thoughts crossing my head. You know what I mean? That's it. I put myself in the position that you have to win. It can't be other way. So he even forced me more to go out there and chase that victory because if I lost that fight, especially because it was a one fight deal, wasn't a contract, it was a one fight deal.
Hmm.
So I knew if I lose that fight, that's it. I will have no job, no money, no contract, no nothing. I will be broke, fucked, completely fucked.
Yeah, man. Do or die. Yeah, man. Crazy.
Is so I just that's it. Fuck it. It has to be this mentality, and I put myself in that position, and now we are here talking.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's amazing how you actually put yourself in that frame of mind as well. Not thinking, if I win this and fine, I'll quit my job. You think, no, I'm going to quit my job now. And do you really feel that really did change your mentality on the whole thing? It really gave that extra sort of when you're on, it's like they say, when you know a family member's in danger, you double in strength. Was it
Ah,
almost like
yeah,
that?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I just like I didn't want at that time with that opportunity any negativity, around
That's
me.
it.
I just want to like forward, forward, and forward.
And what a fantastic win as well, obviously. And it must have been felt also been extra special to you, as you said. What were you thinking when they were standing there and they heard them say 29-28, to Crawford? You're thinking, what? Split decision? What was going through your mind at that point?
At that point, I was like, uh, kind of was unfair, but I was like, it's in London. So I was like, okay, let's see what the other two judges gonna say. So they say like, of course, once they say Crawford, I was like, okay, the next one I'm gonna say that it's for me.
Yeah.
And then when we were waiting for the third one, the third judge, I was like, oh man, come on. And when I heard my name, I was like, man, I just like I start crying. My whole corner start crying. We all start crying at each other, screaming. Yeah, was good moment.
Yeah, mate. And was any of your family present or anyone from Portugal there as well for that?
Yeah, it was my at that time was my brother, my one of my closest friends, two of my closest friends, and some some friends, but not so close.
Yeah, nice though. It's nice they travelled over and you got to share that with them as well. Must have been fantastic for you. Um,
Yeah, it
and
was
then and then 7 months later, towards the end of the year,
yeah,
you
it
get
was
to
in
put.
December
And
in Italy.
so I know, and I know I watched that fight, and you were pumped after you won that fight. I mean, you were definitely hyped up after that, and it was fantastic to see. Was it because you got that first round finish and you really felt like you solidified your place in the Bellator rankings after that
Ah,
quick first
yeah,
round
absolutely.
finish?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I felt after the fight that I had what it takes. I felt it. I was calm but pumped. And after the fight, I just felt a click. You know what I mean? I just
Yeah,
felt a
man.
click. I felt that little thing that was missing. And that's it. After the fight, I know that I have what it takes to be world champion.
That's it, and you're still proving it as well. And now you've got an even bigger opportunity to be in the Grand Prix and taking on a UFC veteran, in Sam Sileo. How does that feel when you got given that name to take on another big name?
Just another victim. That's it. That's not. This is not about them. This is only about The only thing that I see in the other side of the cage is no face, no name person they have to be. This is not about them. This is only about me. So I don't care about the name. I just
That,
go out there, do my thing, dominating, and get the win. That's it. I don't allow myself to be a prey. Never. I'm always the hunter inside of the cage. So doesn't matter who he is. That guy always going to be the prey. He's always going to be the one running away. That's it.
that's it. Fair enough. And I said, yeah. And then again, you'll add another name to the list. As you said, it's just the prey in front of you. And his last fight again was against Derek Campos as well. Just like yourself, and that was a split decision he took him to. So he had a bit of a battle with him where you're finishing the guy in the first round. So that's got to give you that extra boost of confidence as well.
Yes, but at the same
If
time,
you need any more confidence, that is.
yeah, yeah, no, it's no. Yes, yes, but at the same time, no, because each fight is a fight, and sometimes guys stylistically, because of a certain amount of style, can complicate one guy and can't complicate also. We can look at, like, it's not because I finished Campos in 2 rounds, in 2 minutes, and he had big problems that I'm gonna think, oh, he's gonna be easy. No, because each fight is a fight. I do believe that he don't pass the first round, that he not gonna be not gonna handle the pressure I'm gonna put it on. But I'm not gonna go inside of, like, thinking, if I finish like Campos in 2 minutes, I'm gonna do the same with this one because he had problems with Campos. No, I'm not gonna think like this. I'm just gonna do the same as I do always. I just go out there calm but pumped. Go out there and pick my shots and make them crumble. That's it.
So how early are you going to get yourself over there to the States, to adapt to, the what's it, the time difference?
Though, sorry,
And when are you going to head over to California? Like how early before your fight are you going to head over there?
2 weeks out. 2 weeks out of fight.
2 weeks later, and you take who you take who's going over there with you then from the team? Who's making the trip with you?
My striking coach, David Jones, always, as always, and then John come a few days later.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, well, I guess he's got a busy job, John, back in the gym as well. I'm sure he'd love to be
Ah,
in
yes.
California with you for 2 weeks though.
Yeah, of course, but now we have the launch of the new gym, so
What's the name of his new gym again? Remind me.
is so it's SVG, is the SVG, the new SVG,
Yeah.
with a partnership with Monster, I think. So yeah, it's gonna be a huge
Wow.
gym, dorms, everything. It's gonna have that gym's gonna have everything. So it's gonna be massive. It's gonna be really good to have these new facilities. They're gonna open up next Monday. So next week we're gonna go to the new place. So it's gonna be fun times. Fun times.
Oh, watch out, the world SBG are coming. Wow, I
Yes.
didn't know. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. We've got big teams like SBG, European teams. We've got Team Renegade in Birmingham, with Leon Edwards and all those guys coming out. Europe it feels like, in Europe, it's always been so focused on the States. Do you feel like the European fighters are really going to start taking over and being more on the scene now?
Yeah, you can see that. You can see on every single MMA shows that the Europe level is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Each time you see more and more European champions. So the level is clearly going up. So I think like right now it's pretty even. Of course, as the most of the so like Bellator is American, UFC is American, so it's normal that they have more American fighters and they push more for the Americans. That's normal. But the level itself, I think it's pretty even right now. Because the gyms, the teams, the athletes, basically the whole MMA level in Europe, it's year after year bigger, better. and stronger. That's what I feel.
And you feel it's really important as well for yourself to be part of this, European tour or series that Bellator are putting on. You think it's actually incredible that someone as big as Bellator are investing so much money into Europe, and do you feel it's so important for someone like yourself to be involved in that? Well, you have been involved in that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm putting my name. I'm setting myself to make history. So having this chance to be one of European representatives, it's an honor for me, and it's really like not a dream come true. I'm not going to say a dream come true, but it's a really privilege, to be one of the fewest. Like we are like what, three Europeans on like it's me, Saul Rogers, you have Adam Borix is European, and Aspileta is also Spanish. So yeah, we are four European guys. So yeah, it's a pleasure to me to be one of them, and set myself to make history. So it is a privilege to me.
No, fair enough, and no, I completely appreciate that as well. And out of all those guys in the featherweight tournament, I'm not going to ask you who's going to win because that's a stupid question. Okay, who do you think is going to come second?
I don't
Uh,
care. I don't know it, and I don't care.
fair enough. Fair enough, but fair enough. Well, Pedro. It's been actually fantastic having you on, and then I said I've learned a lot about your life. Where you've come from, what you've had to do as well, because I'm sure a lot of people didn't know that. Everyone thinks you might have been spoon-fed all this stuff. It was just given to you.
Uh,
Really rich parents, which some people
I
do come from.
wish, I wish, I wish.
But you say you've done it the way, where you appreciate what you're doing, and you went in there. It's not, I'll go in and if I don't win, it's fine. I've got other things to fall back on. It's if I don't go and win, I don't eat, and it's almost a way of, I say, mentally preparing yourself, like you've explained. And I'm sure a lot of people out there listening to this, when they do, will listen to it and be inspired, like I'm sure I am as well. So no, I really appreciate you coming on and telling your story.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Thank you to give me a chance of speaking about myself and my story, and if I can help someone for good, that's super. It will leave me like super happy.
Yeah, I said you're one of the pioneers of European MMA at the moment. So, you're one of the most watched people. Everyone's seeing your fights, especially the way you're finishing your fights as well, coming out of SBG. And now after hearing your story, I'm hope they'll follow you even more and support you. And I can't wait to be K-side again. So, Pedro, one thing I want to let you do is, if there's anyone out there, you want to give a shout out to, any coaches, training partners, sponsors, give them a shout out now. The floor's yours.
Ah, I just would like to thank everyone that is alongside me, supporting me, gym wise or only even if he's only on social media, I just I'm really thankful for all the support. That's it.
Cool, man. Just give everyone a shout, like where they can follow you on social media, like which sort of networks you're on, which they can follow you on.
So yeah, they can follow me in Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So in Facebook and Instagram is the same, Pedro Carvalho MMA, and in in Twitter, I is P Carvalho MMA, I think. I don't use a lot of Twitter, so it's P Carvalho MMA. That's it.
That's it. I'm sure if they search your name on Twitter, they'll find you. I'm sure it'll be fine. You've got
Yeah,
plenty of followers. You'll be
yeah,
absolutely.
we'll be not that hard.
That's it. Oh yeah, one thing I've just remembered I forgot to ask you, which is obviously really important, is when are we going to see when we're going to see an event in Portugal? This is really important as well in your hometown, because as important as it is for you to fight in Dublin, 'cause I know you'd love to do that. It must be a dream to fight in your home country, because even when you were fighting on regional level, you were never fighting close to home, were you?
Yeah, no, 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 but that's okay. I'll take my time. I know that I have to do big things before that happen, because it's hard to take a show to Portugal, So I know that I have to make my name being heard,
Yep.
and then we'll see. Then we'll see.
Well, your name's definitely being heard, so hopefully it won't be too long. And Pedro, again, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you taking this
Thank you,
time out of
sir.
your day.
One more time. Thank you for having me. It was absolutely a pleasure for me.
Cool. Thanks very much. And I'll tell you what, it'd be great to speak to you again soon. You know, even after your fight, before your fight, whatever. It'd be great to catch up.
We will, so for sure.
Perfect. Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you. See you later.
If you've liked this podcast, be sure to subscribe on iTunes. We're live every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. talking MMA. Go to facebook.com/martial arts chat, give us a like there, and follow us on Twitter @martialartschat.